What it do, surprise Shawty crew? So I have another quick word. This one's gonna be called "Don't Be an Ichabeezer," and you know who that is. Like when I said it, you would already know who it is. If you watch VeggieTales or your children, they watch VeggieTales, and most nights my TV is on Boss Baby or VeggieTales. And so I already kind of did a community post about this first part, but Ichabeezer, like, he just be doing some stuff, and I'm like, yo, somebody come get their mans, right? Like, why is he acting like that? And it's usually Pa Grape who has to bestow some wisdom to Ichabeezer, teach him some lessons, drop some wisdom, you know, like. And I also want to throw in there, like, you don't have to be older, more seasoned to have wisdom. Something that keeps coming up is wisdom is learning from other people's mistakes. And so for me growing up, I always loved watching stuff like VeggieTales and just the shows that taught kids a lot of stuff, because I did learn from the mistakes of the people on TV, right? Like, I'm growing up and I didn't do certain things, and it was, you know? So I was also kind of laughing because it was like, this is last night I was watching these episodes. I was like, God, it's some grown-ups who need to, like, watch VeggieTales, because it's like foundational. It's like fundamental. And even when I did the lessons for the kids, hidden treasures, I always say that, like, yes, for kids, but you can for sure be like on the milk of the word, like in the beginning stages. And these are just different things everybody did not learn, everybody did not have access to, or even some rejected these teachings, right? So anyways, the first episode, which I made the community post about, was just about jealousy, and that was actually Larry. And Pa Grape, like, he really be dropping gems, but he was basically telling him, like, you know, you're letting jealousy get in the way, and y'all can't work together, and we can't accomplish like this great feat because you're letting jealousy get in the way. He really tried to sabotage the piece of bacon. What's his name? Bacon Bill. Larry tried to sabotage Bacon Bill because he was jealous. So that's what Pa Grape was getting at. Like, y'all could be working together, but you're so jealous, like, it's not gonna work. And so that's where envy rots the bones came in, right? And I told y'all, it reminded me of that dream I previously had, where, like, and it's crazy because on these episodes, they're working in food establishments. I was like, that's crazy, because in my dream, right, we were working in a food establishment, and I knew we were, like, taking orders, serving orders, but, like, the food is like the word, right? And so the girl working the counter, she felt a way towards me, right? She was worried about me, and I knew she was about to get fired, because it was like, you worry about the wrong thing, sis. Like, you can't be on that in here. Like, I knew that in a dream. So I had already shared that with y'all in the community post. But why am I saying don't be an Ichabeezer today? This is kind of like a warning, like a heads up for some of y'all, but also, like, for those who may be struggling with these feelings that would make you like an Ichabeezer, right? When Google says Ichabeezer is uptight and often shows disdain towards his fellow neighbors, like treats them like they're not worthy. He's also, like, greedy and a cheat, right? Like, I don't like Ichabeezer, you know, like, it's people who move like that though, right? And he older, like, sir, why you ain't learned that, you know? Anywho, the episode I was watching last night, Pa Grape, when I tell you this is a whole word, Pa Grape was expanding and doing something new in his store, and in doing so, he had an idea, right, to use the cucumber and the tomato as mascots, right? And then, you know, Ichabeezer also has like a store restaurant type of thing going on too. So what Ichabeezer did was, when he saw it working for Pa Grape and how it was doing good things for him, he straight up stole his idea, straight up told him to his face, like, I stole your idea. He tried to remix it, remake it, make it like it was his. The cucumber and the tomato was shook, like, no, you didn't, right? Reminds me of another dream and word release. A dream and word I released like this time last year. It was like, you make it look good, and that girl had tried to steal my plate, and everybody knew she stole my plate, right? Like, I'll try to reshare that to the community post, but it was like so obvious, like, you stole Megan's plate. So people will really try to do that because they're under a delusion, right? They acting like an Ichabeezer, and Ichabeezer, right? Like, so get me. And so things kind of looks good for Ichabeezer there for a second, right? And it was also testing the cucumber and the tomato. What's the tomato's name? Larry and, is his name Bob? Maybe. But it was testing them to, like, stay true. And Pa Grape told them, like, no matter what, be honest. Then it was about lying too, and, like, promising people stuff that you can't keep, right? And it was a really good episode. Anywho, it looked like he was up from copying their idea for a minute, but then he couldn't maintain it. And more to not being able to maintain it, he actually had to close his shop restaurant down, right? Like, you never gonna get nowhere always he was trying to one up them. Like, he was stealing their original idea and then trying to one up them. And there's people out there that's like that, and it's never gonna work. It may look like it works for a second, whatever, but it's not going to last because it didn't come from God. They stole it from you. Therefore, the energy that it was birthed from was of the enemy, and that's never going to succeed, right? So it's a warning to people who are like, don't be out here trying to one up somebody, take their ideas. You got to do your own thing. You got to be in your lane, right? But then also to those of you where you making the plate, because it's gonna come from God. And that's something he always be telling me, like, I ain't never gonna run that ideas, content, nothing, because I'm tapped in with him. Like, he is the creator, right? So rest in that, but also be mindful of that. So it's a way to share, how to share, all that, so people can't just swipe your stuff, right? But also, like, rest assured it's a test for you, right? But they're not going to succeed in stealing anything that they got from you, and especially trying to one up you, right? But like, you make it look good, you make it look easy, but it's God, and it ain't a thing to go make another plate when somebody try to steal it. Like, that was the revelation he gave us last year, right? It ain't a thing, right? But it's people out here who gonna be trying to like swipe your plate. And on top of that, the episode last night, like, he really kept trying to one up him. Like, he was watching him so closely that every time Larry and Bob was about to make an announcement for a new thing, he was right there ready to like swipe it and do something that he thought was bigger and grander. Like, who does that? Don't be an Ichabeezer. Don't be an Ichabeezer, okay? That's it.